Okay, get this. What if you could program life? I'm not talking about computer code. I mean programming actual living cells. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? Well, it's real. And today, we're diving into the dawn of the Xenobot. So let's just start with a really big question, kind of a mind bender. Can a robot be alive? And I don't mean a robot that just pretends to be alive, like in the movies. I mean a machine that is, at its core, biologically living. This question, it really messes with the line we've drawn between technology and nature. And the wild thing is, the answer seems to be yes. So let me introduce you to the Xenobot. This is the world's very first living, programmable machine. Again, this isn't a movie plot. This is a huge breakthrough that's happening as we speak. All right, so what in the world is a Xenobot? To really get it, you kind of have to throw out everything you think you know about robots. This is something completely new. It's like a whole new form of life in a category all by itself. The name actually gives you a big clue. Xeno comes from a species of frog, the Xenopus laevis, because that's what these things are made of. Frog stem cells. Just let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about metal, wires, or circuits. We're talking about a machine that's 100% organic, totally biodegradable, and it even powers itself. So yeah, you can see here, just forget the classic robot image. On one hand, you've got metal and plastic, wires, external power, all that stuff. But Xenobots, they're made of living cells. They're biodegradable. They can power themselves for weeks. And here's the kicker. Their bodies, their actual physical shapes, are designed by an AI to do specific jobs. It's just wild. And to really appreciate how amazing this is, you have to understand just how tiny we're talking. A single Xenobot is less than a millimeter wide. That is smaller than a grain of sand. And it's on that microscopic scale that all their incredible abilities, which we're about to get into, really shine. Okay, so the big question is, how do you even make a living robot? The whole process is this incredible mashup of biology and artificial intelligence. It's like they've written a whole new blueprint for life. The way they do it is just fascinating. So first, they take stem cells from frog embryos. Then they hand the problem over to a supercomputer. The computer runs all these evolutionary simulations. It's kind of like digital natural selection, testing thousands of body shapes to find the perfect one for a specific job. After that, scientists literally build that shape cell by cell based on the AI's design. And then, and this is the magic part, it just starts working. It comes to life and starts moving around all on its own. And you have to remember, this stuff is brand new. I mean, the first Xenobots were only made back in 2020. That's not long ago at all. And in just a few years, we've already discovered they can swarm together, heal themselves, and do some pretty complex things. The pace here is just incredible, and it's opening up doors we didn't even know existed. All right, so we know what they are, we know how they're made, but now for the really cool part, what can they actually do? Because these aren't just little blobs of cells floating around. They have skills that are totally changing our definition of what a machine even is. First up, they can move. Yeah, no engines, no gears, nothing like that. They just use their unique AI-designed bodies to walk or swim around. And the power? It comes from the energy already stored inside their cells. It's completely autonomous movement. And it's not just about moving solo. They can work together. They can actually form a swarm, organizing themselves and moving as a group. It's like a really basic biological version of teamwork. Okay, but this next one, this is probably the most incredible part. They can self-repair. I mean, if you cut a Xenobot almost in half, its cells will actually work to stitch it back together. And then it just keeps going. This isn't like rebooting a computer program. This is proof that this machine is well and truly alive. So when you put all these skills together in the lab, you see some amazing things. Scientists have watched them walk and swim, push these little tiny pellets around, and even carry small things from one place to another. They've even seen them work as a team to gather up scattered bits of debris and pile them all together neatly. And they're doing all of this for weeks at a time, just running on their own internal batteries, basically. Okay, so these abilities are incredible, for sure. But it all leads to the biggest question, right? The so what question. What can we actually do with these little living machines? Why does any of this matter? Well, this is where it really feels like we're stepping out of science fiction and into the real world. I mean, think about it.
When you have a tiny, programmable life form that's also biodegradable, the potential uses could change, well, everything. The possibilities are just about as big as you can imagine.
Just imagine for a second a fleet of tiny, living robots that could deliver medicine right to a specific cancer cell inside your body, leaving healthy cells alone. Or what about a swarm of them that could go out into the oceans and clean up all the microplastics? They could even help us repair damaged tissue, working on regenerative medicine. And honestly, we're just scratching the surface of what might be possible. This quote really nails the core idea here. It's a total shift in how we think about biology. What we're learning is that cells aren't just these passive building blocks that make up plants and animals. They can be treated as active, programmable parts, little cogs in a brand new kind of biological machine. And that leaves us right here, at the very beginning of a new era. As we get better and better at building with biology, we're also faced with one of the biggest, most profound questions out there. What does it actually mean to program life? And what kind of responsibility do we have when we wield that kind of power?